Shreveport, Louisiana, the AvnoCare V100 Independence Bowl between number 25, the Auburn Tigers, and number 8, the Kansas State Wildcats. The winner of this game will move on to play Texas in the second round of the LSU bracket. Texas with the same record as Auburn, 7-5. They were able to pull off the upset. Can the Tigers do it here today? This will be their third ever BCS Playoff appearance. Previous 2 times they were here. Last time was in 2007, where they took down the undefeated Hawaii Warriors on their way to the Final Four. Other than that, the only other time they made it was last season, completely undefeated, #1 seed. A lot of people thought they were going to run the table and win it all with Cam Newton. They looked pretty unstoppable, but they fell short in Mobile to Troy. They were eliminated in the first round. And this will be Auburn's third try at the BCS playoffs for the Kansas State Wildcats. This will be their first try. Never been to the big dance before. Well, they're dancing on the big stage at the number 8 seed. And there you see Freeman for the Auburn Tigers, number 21. He is a big linebacker from Alexander City, Alabama. Expect him to come through with an impact. Usually is good for about a sack or 2 every couple of games. For the Tigers, they're going to be having to do this one without starting running back Michael Dyer. He's been suspended. That's been well documented for a violation of team rules. So Ontario McCaleb will be taking over the duties here today for the Tigers. We will see how they fare up against this Kansas State Wildcat team here in Shreveport. We are sold out here in Louisiana for the Independence Bowl. Lots of fans making the trip from Kansas and from Alabama for this game. Tigers will begin this one, and we'll get to see McCaleb. He'll get in there for 1 yard. Ontario McCaleb starting for Michael Dyer. Michael Dyer, probably one of the more positive parts of this Auburn team that's been struggling a little bit this year. Now they have to go at it alone without Dyer. That was starting quarterback Clint Mosley, who was able to hook up with his wide receiver Emory Blake for 7 yards, and that brings up a 3rd down and 2. It's an all-Alabama field going on right now. McCaleb's going to fumble it as he attempts to hurdle. K-State picks it up. They're going to go down to the 15-yard line. What about that for the Kansas Wildcats? It was recovered by Dalton Converse. Let's look at it again. He got flipped, and it was picked up. So K-State football going on right now on ESPN. It's number 2 Alabama against number 31 NIU, but we're right here on ESPN2 for Auburn and K-State. Klein's going to look for the end zone. He's going to give it right back to Auburn on one throw. Oh my goodness. Intercepted by Nico Thorpe, defensive back. That is Nico's 4th interception of the year. That's rough for Kansas State. They had a chance to take advantage of a turnover and jump all over the Tigers, and Colin Klein, with just his 6th interception of the year on one play, gives it back to Auburn. So now they have some new life, and now Mosley will try to run the ball, and he's going to be unsuccessful. Second and 11. They give it to the back. Trying him once again. Just don't fumble it if you're Ontario McCaleb. And he's able to hang on to it. So 3rd down and 7. And Auburn is in what appears to be a throwing situation on 3rd and long. Instead, Mosley is going to run it. Or was that Mosley? It looked like it said 45, unless I just looked at that wrong. I can't tell. Let's see if we can get a number on. That's 45 throwing. I don't know what what Auburn is trying in there. That was throwing the ball. That was Yeah, Davis Hooper, who was throwing it for Auburn. Maybe they just used him to be able to run for the first down on third. Now they have Mosley back in. That was interesting. It looked like Hooper. They were just allowing... Oh, Mosley's going to be picked. Another turnover. Independence Bowl, we are turnover prone right now. Maybe you stick with Hooper in the throwing game. If I had to guess, though, they only used him to get that first down. But that was the defensive back for Kansas State to get the pick. So that makes it a new set of downs for K-State. And they're going to stick to the running game after flying through the pick. That's Josh Hubbard on the run. It's a 2-yard gain. John Hubbard. 2nd down and 8. Already in Tiger territory. They're going to let Klein throw it. He's going to get his man, and that's going to be another gain of a couple of yards. That one was caught by Sexton, Curly Sexton. So 3rd down and 3. On the running play, 1st down, Kansas State. It's going to be Hubbard and Willie Wildcat. It's Willie versus Aubie right now on the sideline, and Willie Wildcat, they got the advantage. Kansas State looks all that of a number 8 team in the nation. The Auburn Tigers, a lot of people say it's a controversial pick, 7-5. The bowl committee, though, voted them, the BCS polls, at number 25, but we already saw one team at 7-5, the Texas Longhorns. They went in there and they dominated a really good South Carolina team. So it all needs to be seen what's going to happen here. Klein's going to play action it. He throws it out of bounds. Didn't have anyone open. And right now Klein is kind of struggling a bit to locate his target as we go to a 3rd down and 3. Klein, lots of time now. He's going to heave it towards the end zone. Incomplete. So K-State, they're going to go for a long field goal, 50-plus yards. It's right down the middle, though. It's not long enough. Off the bottom crossbar. And that is going to be no good for the kicker, who made his only other kick from 50 yards this year, and that was Anthony Cantelli. Well, Auburn will retake over. We're kind of just trading possessions right now between the Tigers and the Wildcats. Mosley throws it into triple coverage, throws it into traffic. Both quarterbacks are kind of iffy right now. Now 1st and 10, pressure, and that one's going to be dropped. Incomplete by Carr. Just a flat-out drop. Quindarius Carr from Huntsville, the senior. You don't usually see that out of your seniors. Mosley's got a 3rd and 10. Mosley will be pressured. Mosley throws it up, and he throws it into triple coverage, where it'll be knocked away, and Kansas State will maintain, or will get possession back of the football. So we're just kind of trading possessions right now. Defense is stepping up strong. That's a brutal hit. K-State will take over at the 31-yard line. And we have a flag. Let's go to the ref. Bates is going to be called for the offsides. And Kansas State will get a free 5 yards. And I know they'll use all of that they can muster. But they've had trouble moving the ball, but they're going to get the 1st down on the wide receiver sweep. Garrett Harper was the man they went to, and he's a freshman, so they put him in there just to, or not, pardon me, I'm on the wrong, that's the wrong thing. That was not Garrett Harper, that was Tremaine Thompson. for the Kansas Wildcats. And they keep it on the ground with Hubbard. He's going to lose a yard. 2nd and 11. They got the ball at the 44. Hubbard takes it again up the middle, and he gets a little bit of help from the Tigers as he gets tackled forward to make up an 8-yard gain. Now, if it was 2nd and 11, and now it's a 3rd and 3, that was an 8-yard gain, Mr. ESPN statistician down there. They pitch it out to Hubbard, and he's going to fight his way forward, and they're going to say he didn't get anything on the run. So another defensive stop, but Kansas State in Auburn territory, they feel comfortable enough to want to go for it. They're going to run it again with Hubbard, and they're going to get the first down and more down to the 35-yard line. The play call, 4th down, going for it on a running play, or 4th straight run play, and you get the first down. Klein, first down to his receiver, that's Thompson, for a first down, and Bill Schneider and company, they're moving the ball right now at will on this Auburn defense. The SEC, who sent 6 teams here to the postseason, they've already seen 2 of them go down. South Carolina and Arkansas in that upset. Kansas State is hoping to send their 3rd one home. It's 0-0 at the end of the 1st here in Shreveport. And now we switch sides. And as soon as Klein is looking into that Auburn end zone on the other side, he falls victim to a quarterback sack. Klein brought down by Harris Gadsden. Take us to a 2nd down and 19. Klein will be out of the gun. Fakes running forward, drops back, goes to the end zone. Touchdown, yes, touchdown. Kansas State Wildcats just getting it over the line. Klein able to connect with Sheldon Smith for the score. And that is the 2nd touchdown of the year for Smith. 31-yard touchdown grab. With the point after attempt, it's good, in K-State, the Wildcats, in their first ever BCS Playoff appearance, they take a 7-0 lead here in the Bowl Championship Series. The Independence Bowl, AdvoCare V100 Independence Bowl last year, the Oklahoma Sooners took home the Independence Bowl trophy over Maryland. Will the Big 12 retain possession of the Independence Bowl trophy, or will it go to SEC country? It's up to Clint Mosley and his Tigers right now. Looks like we're going to go with some Wild Tiger formation. They're going to give it to the fullback, and that's not going to work. Crumple that one up and throw it out of the playbook. We go to a 2nd and 10, and now they're going to let the running back throw it. I don't know what they're doing in there today for the Auburn Tigers. Ontario Michaela was throwing that pass. Gene Chiswick being kind of weird. I don't know. It's been interesting on this game. Mosley will go down. Quarterback sack for Clint Mosley. He was brought down by Raphael Gertie. And that's his first sack of the year for Gertie. And now Kansas State will get the football right back on this 4th down play. They should get it around Auburn territory, indeed, just 5 yards out. So now Kansas State can take massive advantage to go up by 2 scores here on Auburn. Klein making some movement happen. Here's the handoff. Big opening into Tiger territory, and picking up the first down was Hubbard. Easy moving down the field. Nico Thorpe had to come in with the tackle to save that run, as Hubbard could have gone all the way. Now Klein will work out of the gun. He'll drop back on first down. Passing play and shotgun on first down. Klein had an open man, but he was well covered. Fell incomplete. Single coverage. That one was just broken up on really nice defense. Takes us to a 2nd and 10 at the Auburn 40. Fakes it to the fullback, throws it out to Hubbard, and it's not going to fool this Tiger defense. Not at all. That was Bates who came in with the tackle to drop Hubbard for a loss of 2. And now on 3rd and 12, they're forced to go with 5 wide receivers. Here come Kansas State. Kansas State, open receiver over the middle, 5 wide on a 3rd and long. And Klein finds Thompson for the end zone and the score. Tremaine Thompson, touchdown number 2 on the year. Touchdown number 2 for the sophomore. Kansas State all over the Auburn Tigers, 13-0. So now it's Auburn's turn. They got 3 minutes, and they're going to need to cut the deficit down. They don't want to let this one get too far out of the reach before they start making the comeback happen. The only team that's really been able to pull that off so far has been West Virginia and the Arkansas Razorbacks, but Arkansas couldn't complete the comeback. They scored 21 points in the 4th quarter to come back. Ended up losing in what's been the game of the tournament so far in double overtime to Cincinnati. That was just a few games ago. They're going to try to option it, and K-State closes that one down. Auburn will lose a yard. 2nd and 11. Mosley takes it out of the gun. And the handoff will go for 2 and nothing more. 3rd down and 9. They're really hurting right now without Michael Dyer. And down goes Clint Mosley. Quarterback sack, a 3 and out. And Kansas State will retain possession. Oh, are they hurting right now without Clint Mosley? Or, excuse me, without Michael Dyer. Because with Michael Dyer in there, that makes a lot of those 3rd and longs probably 3rd and shorts by letting him run it on 2nd down. Dyer with 1,000 yards, 10 touchdowns on the year, serving a suspension for team rules. And right now, outclassing the Auburn running game has been Kansas State running back John Hubbard. Kansas State will use a timeout. The sophomore, so a lot of sophomores on this team for Kansas State. You gotta like the future of this team to be ranked number 8 with so many sophomores at the helm. To think what this team's gonna do in the future. Could be a team to be reckoned with. But right now, the future is now they want that national title. Klein, wide open, wide receiver. Thompson. Or Sheldon Smith that brought that in. Sheldon Smith. If I had a spotter, I'd be a lot more accurate. I'm sorry, guys. Klein will throw it once again. It's working for, oh man, quarterback sack. Every time I open my mouth and say it's working or something, bad things happen. I just keep my mouth shut. He was brought down by Corey Lamonter, the defensive end. Corey Lemoyner. He's had about a sack a game. There's only been 2 games where he hasn't had a sack, so he's keeping it up. Klein, though, on single coverage. What happened there? Touchdown touchdown Thompson. Second touchdown. He had perfect coverage, and his receiver the defensive back watched. He turned for the ball and got burned. That was Bell. To Sharon Bell. Turned and looked for the football. And as he did that, he got burned. Yikes. Well, Kansas State 21-0 right now. Making this number 25 pick for the BCS committee looking like a silly one. I'm sure Kansas State is saying thank you very much for that pick. And to the running game. There we go. Breaking it free. He's going to go all the way. That's going to be a touchdown for Ontario McCaleb, his 5th of the year. And that's one way to break this one open for the Auburn Tigers and to finally get on the scoreboard. Bulldozing tackle. Ontario McCaleb said, I'm sick and tired of this. I'm going to lower the shoulder and take off for the end zone. And that's exactly what he did. "74-yard running play. And Auburn will cut into the Kansas State lead by 7. And you see Cody Parkley put through the extra point. 37 of 38 on the year for him on extra points. And now Kansas State, though, you score quickly. You allow a Kansas State team with 2 timeouts to try to extend the lead just a little bit here, and take back that 21-point lead that they had. Klein will try to run it. Klein will go down. So we had so many turnovers in the opening 2 minutes of the game. Since then, both teams have settled down, more so Kansas State, to really open this game up. You saw in that shot lots of purple and silver, but also lots of blue and orange in the stand here at Shreveport. More of a home field, though, for Kansas State. They get the 68% of the ticket sales. Higher seeded team does in the first 2 rounds. And I think Klein just got the call from head coach Bill Schneider. Let the time run out, maybe take one last throw. But we're content to head to the locker room up by 14. And I'd say not a bad call at all. They're going to go for one last heave. Klein, and that heave's just going to go out of bounds. I think Schneider told Klein, if it's there, go for it. But if at all you see coverage, anything, just get rid of it. That's what Klein did, and we're headed to the locker room. Number 8 in the nation, Kansas State leads number 28 in the nation. Number 8 in the nation, Kansas State leads number 25 Auburn, 21-7 at the end of the half. Oh man, I need a break. Let's go up to the booth. Reese Davis, Mark May, Lou Holtz. Take it away, fellas. Welcome back to second half coverage. The Kansas State Wildcats versus the Auburn Tigers here in the Independence Bowl, the Advocare V100 Independence Bowl. Which is that a face cream? Let me see. Advocare. Well, here you're looking at game tracks at the first half. Advocare is a premier health and wellness company. 70 nutritional and skincare products. So yeah, Advocare is like a face cream. So the face cream bowl, or the Oh man, I'm talking about Advocare, and Thompson's about to burn this team for his third touchdown of the ball game. What a day Thompson is having. It was out of the Wildcat, the literal Wildcat formation. There's Klein. Look at Klein running with his wide receiver. He just threw a block. How about Colin Klein? And that was just I mean, Wildcat. Who does Wildcat better than the Wildcats? Thompson is having a day for the ages for Kansas State. And now Auburn quickly finds themselves back into a 21-point hole. Lots of work to be done for Clint Mosley and company. Mosley incomplete. Having a rough time right now. And Mosley continues to struggle. You may be, well, he's able to find his receiver on that one. I was going to say, you maybe think about going back to Barrett Trotter, who was the starter early on in the season. Mosley throws the interception. I really think you got to think about Trotter. Heading the other way is Kansas State. Mark St. Felix with the interception. Not looking too good right now for the Auburn Tigers. They can really start to put this one out of reach with a score. Beautiful screenplay. Thompson again. And climbed up to 160 yards pass. But Thompson, Kansas State holds on for the win. I'm gonna guess he's gonna be your player of the game. Klein, all day to throw, rolling right, end zone touchdown. Oh my goodness. He hooks up with Harper, and that was just a rocket bullet pass from Klein. Harper rolling, and then finally, and Harper, who is the leading yard getter, the leading receiver, and the leading receiving touchdown player on this team, Chris Harper, comes up with his first grab of the game, and it's a score. He's the junior from Wichita, Kansas, and Kansas State 35-7, and now you really got to think, because there's a lot of controversy of coming into this game, coming in to this team of Gene Chizik being the head coach. And now you have to think back-to-back seasons. Last season, undefeated, you're the #1 seed. You lose in the first round to Troy. And now you come into this game, you're voted in, kind of a beauty pick almost because of what you did last season as the #1 team. The BCS committee, the BCS pollsters, put you at number 25 despite your 7-5 record, despite getting destroyed by #2 in the nation on your home field to close out the season. They give you a shot at the BCS playoffs, and in turn, you churn out this kind of performance. Not only is the committee going to look at this, but you got to start looking at Gene Chizik. This is 2 back-to-back seasons where the Tigers have not looked well. That's going to help his cause, though, a little bit, as they go deep down the field for completion. Have they taken, I think they've taken Clint Mosley out, and they're going to that interesting formation where they're letting Ontario throw it. Yeah, Ontario McCaleb is in there. He threw that big completion. Is he going to be the starting quarterback? And inside the handoff, no huddle continues. So, I mean, I think Chiswick's going a little crazy, but maybe it's working for him. Ontario McCaleb is in there at quarterback. McCaleb takes the snap. He's looking. McCaleb, end zone. Touchdown, Auburn Tigers. So Ontario McCaleb leads his team on a drive for the touchdown, and Emery Blake with the score. Wow. I'd be very surprised if we see Clint Mosley the rest of the game. That was the most successful drive Auburn's had all game. So Ontario McCaleb in there at quarterback. Whatever works for you, I guess. Heck, it worked. Why change it? 4 plays, 73 yards for the Auburn Tigers. And the lead is back to just 21 for Kansas State. They've had a hard time trying to escape the 21-point lead, but at the same time for Auburn, they've had a hard time closing in on the 21-point lead. Klein will go with 5 wide. This was very successful in the first quarter. Or I believe it was the first quarter. They went 5 wide and threw it deep, and they're going to lose. Well, they're going to get the forward progress. And that was the tight end, number 80. That was Tannehill, Travis Tannehill, the junior. I mean, lots of juniors, sophomores on this Kansas State team. If they all stick around, and I'm talking about the juniors mostly, they're going to, I mean, you watch out for K-State next season. They might be Big 12 champs. Their only losses of the year coming to Oklahoma and Oklahoma State. 3rd down and 3 for the Wildcats. And there's the handoff, and Hubbard's going to burn them down into Tiger territory. How good not only has Thompson been today, but John Hubbard. I mean, Klein, after a shaky start, he's been rocking the whole K-State defense. Look out, Texas. It looks like that we are well on our way to a Big 12 showdown in the 2nd round. Chris Harper coming up with the reception on that play. So we could have a Big 12 rematch coming up in round number 2. These Kansas State and Texas played just 4 weeks ago, and Kansas State won 17-13. It was a close one. And Harper with the reception once again. It looks like we're heading for another rematch. We already have quite a few 2nd round rematches. LSU will be taking on Georgia in an SEC title game rematch in the 2nd round. That'll be at the Liberty Bowl in Memphis. We also have Bedlam Part 2, Oklahoma versus Oklahoma State in the 2nd round at the Alamo Dome in San Antonio. Now it looks like we're heading towards Kansas State and Texas. But still some time left. Let's not speak too soon. All these 2nd round rematches. I know last year a lot of people were looking forward to Iron Bowl 2 between Auburn and Alabama. And that didn't happen as Alabama defeated by Texas A&M in overtime, and Auburn upset by Troy. Klein on 3rd down looking for the end zone. He's going to be picked off, so that's going to put some life back into the Auburn Tigers. Intercepted by Nico Thorpe, the senior, not wanting his season to end. And now the Tigers have an opportunity to try to close the gap. Down by 21 with an entire quarter and about a minute to go. They got Clint Mosley back in after the trial run with McCaleb at running back or at quarterback, and McCaleb is trying to do his best to make these Tigers forget about running back Michael Dyer. Mosley completes it, and now Auburn is on the move. They're starting to feel the momentum. And if you're Kansas State, that's something you got to learn to do in the BCS playoffs. I know you don't have much experience here, but when you have these teams down, you got to put them away, because they'll come back at you with a fury. Arkansas already proved that. West Virginia proved that. Wild Tiger formation. Ontario is going to go down. That was not Ontario McCaleb, that was Carr. Contarius Carr. 2nd and 12, and now you were doing so successful throwing and running, you do something weird like that, just completely kills off your momentum if you're Chiswick. And now you go to an option play, and again, just completely kills your momentum doing this stuff. Stick with what you were good at. Now you're 3rd and 14. I don't know what Chiswick is thinking. I don't know why you put Mosley back in there. McCaleb did so well at running back. Incomplete. Mosley just throws it into double coverage. I don't know what he's thinking. To take us to a 4th and 14, Auburn will have to punt it away. And Kansas State is lucky to escape that offensive mistake by allowing Auburn to have to punt it because they made some silly coaching mistakes. I don't understand. We're at the end of the 3rd. I don't understand. You have so much momentum going on handoffs and throwing plays. Let's do a wildcat and an option, and then force yourself into a 3rd and long to where Clint Mosley has to throw a really silly pass. Klein lets that one get away from him, incomplete. Second and 10, Klein will run it. And he's feeling it. K-State faithful going loud right now at Shreveport. Here for the Independence Bowl. Klein will throw it on 3rd down, rolling out of the pocket, completes it, but that's all they're going to get. So Auburn will be able to hold. They'll get another opportunity at trying to make the comeback happen. On 1st and 10, that one's going to go incomplete. And now you have Ontario McCaleb taking the snap, and it looks like they've gone back to McCaleb at quarterback. Here comes the no huddle. So McCaleb, they're going to try him one more time at quarterback as Gene Chiswick. McCaleb will throw it. No, he's going to run it. McCaleb bounces around. McCaleb will pick up the 1st down. This is so successful. I don't know why you would go back to Clint Mosley after seeing how successful for the 2nd time in a row Ontario McCaleb is at quarterback. Maybe he'll be the future Auburn quarterback. Who knows? McCaleb throws it. Great pass. Completes it. Wow. I'm telling you, we might have a new starting quarterback on our hands. Watch out, Mosley and Trotter. McCaleb will throw it. Incomplete. He overthrows it. Now 3rd down and 2. Auburn just 1 for 6 on 3rd downs, and now they put Mosley back in the game. And Mosley didn't throw it any better than McCaleb. I don't know what in the world Chiswick is doing. What? This is just baffling right now. On 4th and 2, they're going to throw it, and they're going to get the 1st down. Just caught by Grove, I think. We have a flag on the play. Ed Hockley makes some sense of this game. Offsides will give him a free 5 yards. 5 wide now for the Tigers. Mosley, end zone, incomplete. 2nd down and 5. Pressure, pressure, look out, down he goes. Quarterback sack. Dowling was the one that got the sack. And another sack. Sack number 4 for Clint Mosley. So now it's 4th and 19. Mosley will look for the end zone. Out of bounds. Incomplete. And that's it. He was looking for Reed in the back of the end zone. And now it's all clock game for Klein and the Wildcats. And again, how successful Ontario McCaleb was, not only throwing but running the ball from the quarterback position. I don't know why you don't stick with him. I'm not coaching. I'm just up here running my mouth saying my opinions. 15-yard face mask. And right now, Auburn, they're just looking to get out of this one. This has been a less than stellar outing for a team that a lot of people didn't even think deserved to be here at 7-5. Again, voted in by all the BCS voters, and we've seen over the weeks since the final polls have come out where a lot of these teams have voted. I mean, a lot of the picks have been very questionable. I mean, you got guys that are voting Boise State at number 24, and guys they're putting their favorite teams up top, and putting guys like Oklahoma State down at 5, 6, and it's just baffling sometimes, the system that we have. But at least the system that we have isn't deciding just number 1 and number 2 to play for a title. At least with these voters and among these insane picks that we get sometimes, 32 teams are getting the chance to compete for a title, not 2. That is going to do it from Shreveport. Your 2011 AdvoCare V100 Independence Bowl champions, the Kansas State Wildcats. They will have a date with the Texas Longhorns next week, a Big 12 rematch. And Thompson, who had the day of his life here at the Independence Bowl, this was your play of the game. I'm more impressed with the block down there at the bottom right corner by Klein. Chiswick and Snyder shaking hands for a good game, and that will do it here. And I understand on the other network they also just wrapped up, and we are down 8 o'clock, and of course Thompson, player of the game with his performance. We are coming down to our final 3 games of the first round. The Christmas Bowl between Rutgers and Tulsa. That's going to be on ESPNU. We have on ESPN the Kraft Fight Hunger Bowl. Speaking of rematches, it's Notre Dame versus Stanford. And then we have on ESPN2 also at 8. It's Heisman Trophy versus Conference USA champs when Robert Griffin III takes on Southern Miss. So we're winding down the first round. We're cutting that 32 down to 14. We need to put 2 more in for the second round. Who wants to make it? Certainly wasn't Auburn today. Kansas State, though, I think they proved they wanted to be here. We'll get some final stats out to you, and then we'll show you the chart, as this bracket looks about all wrapped up for the second round. Let's hit you with some numbers. I'm sure they're going to be pretty on one side, not so pretty on the other. Starting off with Klein. Almost a 200 passer rating, 13 of 20, almost 200 yards, 4 touchdowns with those 2 interceptions. You're going to have to figure that out against Texas, a team that had a lot of turnovers against South Carolina. I mean, you're taking a look at Ontario McCaleb, 3 for 5 for 70 yards and a touchdown throwing. You compare that to Clint Mosley, who was 4 for 15 for 50 yards, 2 interceptions. I mean, I don't know why you don't let him stick with the passing game. But McCaleb also did as much as he could running it while Michael Dyer was out. 8 attempts, 116 yards, a touchdown. I think you let this young man take the reins. Good things might happen for the Tigers. Hubbard also did really well. 17 rushes for 90 yards. Receiving, though, Thompson all over the place. 4 catches, 106 yards, 2 grabs for a touchdown. Receiving, Emory Blake is about the only bright spot here for the Auburn Tigers defensively. Taking a look at some of the numbers here. And then on the K-State side, lots of sacks. You had 2 picks for Felix. And now taking a look at your team stats. Kansas State outclassed them in the first downs, had 100 more yards of total offense, had more passing yards, did way better on 3rd down efficiency, did better on 4th down conversions. They did worse in the red zone, so that's one positive for the Tigers and something that Schneider's definitely going to have his team looking at. They need to step up here in the 2nd round. Can't be having all them red zone trips and coming away with nothing. 2 turnovers they also got to figure out. Total yards, they got them there, and time of possession, controlled the ball. That's gonna that's gonna do it for this one. Let's take a look at some charts, and then we'll get you out to either LA, Tempe, or San Diego, or San Francisco, wherever you want to go for your next round game. We'll get you out there in just a bit.